A ghost smacked my ass. I'm not lying. Boom! What up, you guys? It's Octavius and welcome to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to the family. Anyway, for today's video, we're gonna be telling scary ghost stories that actually happened to me and my brother in our old house. So get ready. Bitch, what are you doing? Go get a snack. Hurry! Go get a snack. I'll wait for you, alright? I'm gonna start really light with these things that happened to us. We used to live in this house a long time ago when we were little. It was a two-story house that we used to live in. And we used to live in this small room that we had. And this room never really like... Interrupt me again. We used to live in this room that was like kind of homemade. And like the door on this room never really fit. It just closed, that's it. And then we would use like a little chain to lock it. And there was a couple times where like that was our room. So there was a couple times where either he would go to the bathroom or go to the shower, and we'll like switch off. Like
you gonna take a shit.
It was whenever I was alone in that room. And so there's a chain, right, to lock the door. That chain would automatically start moving. It would just move by itself. And obviously there was no one there. And there's been a couple times where I was by myself or me and him witnessed where like it's because this door was so uneven, they didn't fit on the door frame. Like there was like a big gap on top of the door and a big gap at the bottom. So you could So if someone were to pass by, you could see their head and then see their feet.
And it's kind of weird because this room, as soon as you open the door, and it drops down like a foot or two. So it drops down. So you will literally just step down to the room.
So walking into the room, you have to drop down. It was like a pretty big drop.
Yeah, you drop down. So even if you're laying on the floor or whatever, or even our bed was kind of low enough where you can see under the door. So that's how you can just to get a reference.
And then there's been times where either just me that witnessed it or us two were. It looks like someone was standing in front of our door. Like you can see like the shadow of feet and the shadow of a head. And then we'll get so scared and we'll turn on the light and there's obviously no one there. And like we'll get freaked out and stuff like that. Or like I said, like the chain on the door would just like move a lot by itself.
So one of my scary encounters is when I was eating chicken nuggets, right? And I ran out of barbecue sauce. I'll start kind of light too. So one day, we used to live in this other room. So we used to switch rooms a lot in that house.
It was the same house.
It was the same house, but we switched rooms. So it would go up the stairs, right? Bathroom on the left, and then if we walk straight down the hall, that used to be our first room. And eventually when we got older, one of my, I believe, family members moved into that room, and then that's when we moved into the small room where my brother was talking about earlier. So when we were living in there, I remember, and I asked him about this and he didn't even remember, but it was me, my cousin, and him. And both of them were on the bed, so we had two beds side to side. So they were kicking it right there, and I think I was just trying to be goofy or whatever. So I was like dancing, whatever on the or something. And we had our door wide open, and everything outside, like the hall, everything is dark. So I'm doing my thing, whatever, and then I turn around and I see one of my family members standing right there. And I was like,
in the doorway?
On the doorway. Like kind of since like the door is kind of creaked up open and I'm on this side, so I turned around and this person's like on the side of the door. But this person's just looking at me, like kind of like not like a dead face, but just looking at me. And I was like, oh, you scared me. And I looked at them too, and I was just like, oh, like, look who it is. And I turned around, and this person did not say nothing. Like, they just stared at me. And I thought it was kind of weird, but I was like, oh, and I looked back at them, and I was like, yeah, she really scared me. So when I turned back, she was gone. And I was like, what the heck? So I peeked over in the hall, and again, the whole hall is dark, and I don't see nobody. And mind you, it's not even... It's like seconds. It's like maybe a minute with this whole thing. So there's no way in hell this person walked straight down the hall and downstairs. So again, once I looked down the hall, I didn't see nobody. But from where where our door was, we had a rail, and you could see to the bottom. And I look to the bottom, and I just see this person. I couldn't see the face for some reason, but I did see that this person had black hair, and it kind of like, now that I think about it, it kind of felt like she was like not necessarily floating, but it was like smoothly. It wasn't like, you know, when you walk, you kind of like, you know, it was just like, and then under the rail, there was an entrance to like the kitchen. So I just saw this person go like shh, like this inside.
That gives me chills.
Yeah, and I was like,
So technically, it seemed like a ghost or like a skinwalker of our family member that was in the doorway.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird, but I didn't. But I do remember mentioning it to this person. Plus, this person did not have black hair, and I remember them saying, like, "No, I never came to talk to you." And I was just like, again, I thought this person was older, so I was like, "Oh, you probably just forgot or something." Cause I didn't mention it to this person the next day. I mentioned it like a couple days after, so I was like, "Oh, you just probably forgot," you know. But I did think it was a little weird.
And then he asked me, about the situation, and I don't remember this, but honestly, I believe it because the amount of stories we've heard in this house is crazy. Let me give you a little piece of like what other people experience. So there used to be like a lot of us. There was probably like 10 people in this house. We all lived in this house.
Typical Mexican house.
And a couple of my family members will like either like see shadows, or like another family member will like when they're sleeping, they can feel the bed feel like someone sat on it. So they just felt the bed like move. And let me tell you another experience that I had. I was babysitting probably like five was it 5 kids? Probably 4 kids. I was babysitting 4 kids, and then it was still a full house. It was like a couple people downstairs, and all the kids were upstairs, so I was babysitting them. And we were all playing on the, what was it, PlayStation? We were playing on the PlayStation and on the Wii. And in that small room that I was just talking about earlier, we were all in there. And then I happened to like leave the room. And when I was walking out of that room that has like the chain and the small door, I hear a slam, and I turned back. The door closed behind me by itself. Like it locked all the kids in, and it stayed closed. And mind you, like I said earlier, this door does not lock or close. Like it's just, all it does is swing closed, and what keeps it closed is the chain. So when it closed behind me, it stayed closed. Like someone was pushing on it, and the kids were on the other side and I was on the outside. And as soon as like I went to grab the doorknob to open it, it opened, and all the kids were crying inside the room, and they all ran out like they were scared. And then that night we all stayed downstairs because no one wanted to go back upstairs. So yeah, that was a scary thing that I actually was like freaking out. Another encounter that I had was when I was in the bathroom, and I was pretty little. I think I was like,
What were you doing in the bathroom?
showering. My booty hole.
Waka.
I have to tell you, that reminds me when I was showering my booty hole. Remember when I told you when I was little? I think I was probably like 10 or 11. I was in the shower, and something smacked my ass. I'm telling you, a ghost smacked my ass. And I was so freaked out, and I told him, and like, I think I told our father. No, I think I told my cousin. I told him and my cousin, I'm like, something literally smacked me in the shower.
He said,
A ghost smacked my ass. I'm not lying.
He said, what you doing all of that? Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
Whole lot of ass. I'm not lying. I swear on everything. Something smacked my ass hard.
You just want attention.
And if you think about it, I was a minor and this ghost wasn't. Anyway, in that same shower, I was showering, right? And I saw like, you know how there's a curtain for your shower? I saw like a tug in the shower. And I was like, what the fuck? So I left it alone, and there was like another tug on the shower. Can you see what the time is?
I can't see. 15?
Okay, it's fine. We'll give it another 5 minutes. So there was a tug on the shower curtain, and then that's when I happened to get done. I was turning off the water, and I opened it. For like a good 2 seconds, I saw an outline of a little boy sitting on the floor in our bathroom. And like, you know how like you have to double take? Like when I double took to look what I saw, it was gone. And I swear on everything, I was like, bro, I saw a little boy right here. And at the same time, I thought it was one of my cousins that lived with us in the shower, in the bathroom. Because I thought like they knew how to use the bathroom really bad.
Maybe the little boy smacked your ass. Maybe.
It's a minor thing.
No, maybe you weren't the minor. Maybe he was.
I didn't touch him. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like, it's giving Casper how he was see-through, but I couldn't really make out the face. It was just an outline, and you can tell like someone hunched over like this on the floor. But anyway, I was so scared. I ran through the door. Like I opened the bathroom door, and ran out of it. And I told the 2 people that I lived with, I was like, there's a little boy in here. And they're like, nah, like shining it off. They're like, nothing. Even though they knew, like the house is like obviously a little haunted. There's like things going on there. And I think I'm gonna give a little backstory to the house. It's not confirmed or like we're for sure know that this happened. But supposedly this house that we used to live in, there were what was it? The mom and dad were murdered, and there was 2 kids or 1.
I think 1 boy.
Okay, so apparently these 2 parents, the mom and father, they did something bad because the cops came to the house, this specific house, and I guess they were like trying to run from the cops or something like that, and they got shot in the house. So they were murdered in the house. And if in one of our other rooms in that house, there's a strange little door on the wall, and that door has been like nailed shut for like the longest, like since I can remember, so you can never open it. And this door is like so damn tiny. Like
it's in that same room where I told you guys that the room slanted and we had the 2 beds. Literally right in the middle of those 2 beds is that little door.
And then we would like use our beds to cover up that door. We didn't really do much, but anyway, the story is that the 2 parents got shot in the house, and the little boy ran into that small room because it was kind of like a panic room to them. And the little boy ran into that little room to hide because all the commotion was going on. And the boy apparently got stuck in that room, couldn't get back out. The door got like jammed or stuck. And apparently the boy passed away in that room because couldn't get out, so like no food, no water. It was probably hot in there. But yeah, that's kind of like the backstory of the house, of the 2 parents passing away.
Yeah,
and
it's not confirmed, but it's some stories that we heard. In that room, that little door, sometimes we used to hear little scratches. So on that door, we hear like, and right beside it, there's actually like an AC vent.
And I think we've actually opened that door before, where that door led to vents that went around the house. Remember, it went downstairs. So yeah, that door. If I don't even think we could fit in it when we were little because it was so small. But that door would go.
We were too big.
We were probably too big. But that door would like go like sideways and then go out, and it would kind of like lead like downstairs because there was central AC, but the AC never worked. And then like there was times when we lived in that room where it would be all over the wall. It sounded like someone was like scratching or like tapping or stuff like that. And I remember there was times in that room the light would flicker a lot. You remember that?
That one, yeah.
And I thought it was just a light, but it would just flicker in that room only. I think that's all of my really stories. Like I've seen shadows before. I've probably like seen like a corner of my eye, I would see someone like right here, and then I would just like look to see, and there's no one there. Or I would think like a family member is behind me breathing, and I would look, and there's like no one there. that's pretty much like all the things I experienced. There's like little minor things, except for like me seeing the little boy and the door slamming by itself. How about you?
The most crazy one that I experienced in the house was with my cousin. So I think he like spent the night because obviously he didn't live with us, and we were in that little room where it drops down. And I forgot what we were doing. We were just chilling, watching TV, or just fucking around or some shit. And we kept hearing noise, like as it just like kind of like footsteps. But then we'll hear maybe like a little bang. So we're like, what the hell is that? So we like open the door, we step out. But we both knew like this house is kind of haunted. Like we know it's a little, you know, sketch. So just to give you an idea. As you step out of this door, so as you step out on top and then you walk towards out the door, there's a rail, right? And then where that
for the staircase, it's a railing.
Yeah, so there's a since we're on top, there's a rail, and again, like we mentioned, to the other door, the other room where we hear the scratches and stuff, that's on the left side. So that's like all the way down.
It's like down the hall.
So as soon as we step out, there's a rail. And to your right is a staircase that kind of curves down like this. So it curves like this, and right before the stairs, like to go down, there's a bathroom. So
it does a spiral. The stair did a spiral, and at the top of the staircase, it was immediately a bathroom.
So as soon as you look over the rail, we used to have our TV towards the wall all the way to like that way, you know, if that makes sense. So as soon as you look over the rail, the TV's against the wall over there, like down there.
So from on top of the staircase, if you look downstairs, the TV is facing us.
And right under the rail that we look over, there is a door. There's like two pathways that go to the kitchen. So there's one down here and one over here. And they just lead straight to the kitchen. As if, you know, you're looking over or whatever. So me and my cousin got up. We were like, what the heck is that? So we step out and we get to the rail. We get to the rail, try to look down. And mind you, it's pitch black. It's like this dark. But we had a window on our right side where like the bathroom was, and there's moonlight. So you know you can kind of see, you know, what's going on. Like you can see the couch, you can see shit, whatever. So we look over the rail, we don't see nothing. But when we look at the TV we can see the reflection. All we saw was this figure under that pathway, that doorway. And there was just this black figure, and it wasn't just like there. It would kind of like came in, like it kind of like came into the doorway, and we noticed that on the TV because it was off, but we saw it.
It was a reflection.
Yeah, so we saw it. We're like, what the hell was that? And out of nowhere, we see it shoot to the right, and then we heard footsteps on the stairway, just going all the way up. And me and my cousin got freaked out. We heard it. We were just like, boom. We booked it back to the room. Fucking locked it. We put that little the hook on it. And we literally like hugging each other. We're like, nope. He's like, if it's gonna take us, we're taking both of us. Like, oh no, we're not moving. But yeah, we were just holding on. We're like, fuck. And we were like under the covers because that shit was scary. Mind you, we're probably like in high school maybe.
Yeah, and then him and our cousin are really close, so they both told the same story, where like they saw the reflection of someone downstairs.
Yeah.
And it ran up the stairs, and you could hear the footsteps going and chasing them down.
But
the hallway.
it was like scary because it was wood, and this house is kind of ghetto, so it was like wood. It's actually like some ghetto ass wood, so you hear like every step, like
like everything in this house creaked. Like anywhere you step, it creaked.
Yeah. So we heard that, and yeah, again. But the funny part is about that story is that the next morning when we woke up, somehow the latch was unhooked.
Ooh, he said, "I'm gonna touch you tonight."
Yeah. Eventually, like so it was like you had to unhook it, and apparently it was unhooked, and then I think like my uncles and my dad like walked in. And we're like holding each other, so he was like,
"Oh yeah, they're making fun of them."
He was like, "You guys are gay." It was like, bro, he was like, if you would have heard exactly what we seen and shit like that, like, you'd be freaked out too. So, I think that was my most scary one.
Yeah, that's crazy. And like we also had like other family members talk about how like in mirrors. We had like mirrors everywhere, but like we've had like those really like not ghetto, what's it? Antique-ish mirrors, those giant ones that be on the wall, or like we had like fine china cabinets that had mirrors on them, and people say that they would like look into the mirror and they'll see like a shadow move, and a lot of people freaked out. Oh, remember whenever we took pictures in the house, little dots would show up on the picture?
Yeah, a lot of blobs will
So
pop
like,
up.
we never liked taking pictures in the house. We only took a picture outside the house.
But it was weird because it only happened when we had like family gatherings. So every time we took a photo, like just normal, like we're just fucking around, it would never pop up. But only at family events, it would always pop out.
I feel like the ghosts liked that there was so many people there, and it was like so much company.
He's like, which one do I want to touch?
But yeah,
today?
whenever we took like pictures inside the house, like behind people, it would be like a circle, and if you zoomed into the circle, you could see the face of somebody. And it was not just like one circle; it was a bunch of circles everywhere of faces. It was crazy.
Every time you're there, you do feel like someone's watching you.
Yeah.
You do feel like that. Someone else is in the room. You know, I don't know. You ever like close your eyes and you ever like say like you're in the like living room and you're like trying to like lay down sleep or some shit, and you can just feel someone walk in the room.
Yeah.
And then you look, there's actually someone in the room.
I feel like that a lot. Like I feel like someone was behind me.
So when I used to do cross country, I used to wake up every morning just to go practice on myself. So my practice was always after school, but I was so into running that I would wake up at 5 in the morning and go run. And every time I wake up at 5 in the fucking morning, I would literally get up and I would hear. So again, I was in that little room. I said, you get out. You can look over the rail or you can go to the restroom and the stairway. Every time I went to the restroom to like get ready, I would always hear something banging on the bottom of the rails, like down there in the living room. I just never looked. I was like, I'm afraid to see something. I was like, it's already dark as hell.
Or like the amount of times we would, it would be late at night, and we would go to the bathroom or want to go downstairs for a late night snack, and something would fall.
Yeah.
Like we're happy to be passing by in the hallway upstairs, we would hear like a noise downstairs or something like fall or crash, and like I feel like the ghost knew like, come here, like we're going downstairs, like they're telling me come here. But anyway, if you've been snacked by a ghost, let me know, because everyone thinks I'm crazy because a ghost literally smacked my ass. The ghost said,
I can imagine you getting smacked and I was like,
I'm like,
it was like,
In that house, we ended up moving. So there was a backside to the house. So like it was a whole 2-story house, but we split the house in half. So one family could live over here, another family would live over here. We ended up living in the back like after a couple years, and there was times where like we had like shelves, and that's where we put like all of our cans, like canned foods. And there was like 3 times where I happened to be in that kitchen making something, and a can from the top shelf will fall right in front of me. Like a couple more inches, that shit would have hit me in the head. And like there was either like it will fall on the ground, but that one specific time, it just went bah right in front of me, and I got freaked out. And I literally like went outside.
damn, I missed.
A little bit more. But yeah, there was a lot of creepy things that happened there. I'm gonna tell you guys other stories, but it's not related to the house we used to live in. There was 2 times where I've had a couple friends pass away, and my very first friend that passed away, I remember we were really close, but we met in college, and I remember when he passed away, like literally in the class, you could still feel his presence. And especially because we had seating arrangements, so we would sit somewhere, and you could still feel his presence, and we all like felt that. And there was times where like I'll walk away, and he had this really good cologne. I don't remember what it was, but you could like smell him all the time, and especially in the room, like especially when you're going to class, you could smell his cologne, like if he was going to class. And he was also like a smoker, a pothead, so that's why he wore so much cologne. But yeah. That was something that like was crazy to me. Like you could still smell him. Even my teacher was like, "Dang, like he's still here." And there's another time where another friend of mine passed away. It was probably 3 years ago. Rest in peace to all of them. But she passed away, and I remember we were really close too. I was just getting to know her. I probably known her for probably like a year. We were still getting to know each other, and she passed away unexpectedly. And I remember at work and at home here, where I would think about her, or like I'll start talking about her, like memories. And there was time where at work I was talking about her, like the memories that we had, and the sink, because our break room, we have a break room, and there's a sink in the break room, and I was right by the sink putting my food in the microwave, and I was talking about her, and talking about the sink turns on, and in order to turn on the sink, you have to pull the lever. You know those weird levers? Mm-hmm. You have to pull the lever so the water can come down. Tell me how me and this other person witnessed the fucking lever go, and the water turned on. And we started freaking out. We're like, oh, it's her, like she's here. And we're like, bro, that was crazy. And there was another time where I was like really thinking about her, because I got a memory, and it said like, oh, like this, you know, Snapchat has memories, and it gives you like reminders. So it was a memory of her, and I was looking at it, and the same thing happened at home where the water turned on. But it didn't turn on all the way, it just turned on a little bit, and it was like seeping a little bit, like dripping. And I'm just like, no, that's crazy. But yeah, there's been things like that. I believe in ghosts. I believe in like good spirits. I try not to believe in like the bad, because I don't want to attract any of that. But I do believe like the people we love are like there beside you all the time, and they're with you. But yeah, there's that. Have you had anything like that before? No? Yeah, I always feel like, I'm not saying like they're my guardian angels, but I always feel like there's someone with me that's good. I feel like if it was bad, like you can feel like the bad intentions or bad energy, but like I always feel like there's someone with me all the time. And like my grandma just passed away last year, and there's a lot of times where I feel her, and like I can smell her still too. Which is weird, because like that's something that's very common for me, because I smell people like from the past. But yeah, I smell my grandma a lot too, and then I just feel like my grandma's always like with me all the time, especially because I pray now, and like before I leave, I pray to her, and when I get in the car, I pray like everything's good, going to work and coming back home. But yeah, I always feel her with me. It's probably her and some friends that are with me all the time. Yeah, I believe a lot in ghosts and spirits and stuff like that. Do you truly believe in ghosts, or do you like have skepticisms?
I guess it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, I believe it because I had something happen. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I think I need a full. If we're talking about ghosts, then yeah, I guess I believe in ghosts. Yeah, I guess so. I guess.
Do you believe there's a heaven? Like there's another side?
No, I don't believe.
You know what's something that scares me? What if, say, like we're here on Earth, right? And you're working your regular 9 to 5 or doing whatever you're doing with your life, and you pass away, and you go to heaven, and you continue your life.
That's what apparently is. I mean, I don't know.
Imagine going to heaven and doing your 9 to 5 job. You're tired everywhere.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I hear a lot of stories that up there is just heaven is like just gold. Everything's gold. You fly everywhere. Everything's peaceful.
Gold?
Yeah, gold. Apparently that's in the Bible.
To me, like when I hear heaven, I think of clouds, bright lights.
But apparently, I could have sworn someone told me in the Bible everything's gold. Everything's gold. But again, I don't necessarily believe in that stuff. I feel we just get reincarnated. That's it.
What would you like to be reincarnated to?
I'll make chicken to be eaten. I want to be eaten dipped in sauce and
I'm like, I want to be a dildo.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Nah, I don't really believe. It's like I want to believe in ghosts, but I feel like I need a little more. I feel like I need to see something. I need to see some crazy shit.
Me personally, I don't want to attract that. So I I feel like what I witnessed, what I've heard, what I've seen is enough for me to be like, yeah, there's another side, or like there's another like realm. The reason why I brought this video up was because I don't know, I feel like I always feel like a presence with me all the time. And I remember telling him that and my mom that, like, whenever I'm sleeping, I could feel either like people over me, or I could feel people in my dream walking around our house. Like, either it's bad spirits or good spirits. I always have dreams of, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I can see like a dark figure walking around our house, but I'm looking up from above. So if that makes sense.
So
if you think about it,
you're looking from like a bird's eye view.
Yeah, that I can see this person walking around our house, and I feel like it gives me negative vibes, because it gives me the vibe where like this thing can't get in our house because I'm protected. It's trying to get in our house, but it can't, because that's why it keeps walking around. So I feel like I have a lot of people or like spirits with me that are like protecting us, because this one thing is trying to like keep swarming around our house. And I probably would have this dream probably like in the last year. I probably had that dream like probably 4 times. So like probably in a year I probably had it like 4 times. And like sometimes it would freak me out. Like I'll wake up and I would have to like look out my window, because there's times where like I think I witnessed it, and I happen to fall asleep and I wake up, I'm like, did I witness that? But it's like a dream, like, but I was doing the bird's eye view. But yeah, that's something that's weird. That's why I pray a little bit more, because of that dream. Because I feel like there's always something walking around our house. But yeah, that's why I brought up this video. I hope you guys like this video. If you have any ghost stories or anything that's ever happened to you, leave some comments down below of like experiences or things you've heard, or even ghost stories, because I low-key want to read them, or like, I don't know why, I just like knowing those things. But yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, leave a like, and then I'll go ahead and put our socials down below, so follow us. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye guys.